Hey everyone, welcome to the Impulse Farm. Yes, guys, I just wanted to make a video on the different types of production in livestock. Okay, well, guys, you have different types of production. Let's start out with the basics. You have the intensive, where you grew your chickens, your pigs, your cattle in a closed off area and they get food by cut and carry, where you take grass and forages to and bring them, cut them from the field and bring them to the pens and you feed them there. That's intensive. Their housing is enclosed, so they don't really live there very much, if at all. They're semi-intensive where they live a lot of the days in the intensive setup, but like sometimes they will let them out and go out into the field, So they have a setup where you might have some rotational stuff where they like in the morning time you might want them let them graze, but in the evening you let them back in for shelter, or like you have a dairy parlor where you would keep them in the milking bay when you want to milk them, and when you put them out in the field to in them graze, get some nutrients and some exercise out in the field. The benefits of semi-intensive are, that you have to spend probably less money on bringing the forages to them. Want to get some exercise. Also, it helps with the sanitation aspect. While animals are out grazing, you can clean the pens. Not only that, but the animals are more spaced out, so they're not as likely to spread disease to each other. Okay, this is the final in production system is extensive. This is extensive production is where you have the animals in a not really closed off area. You just guide them where you want to go. So you're like grazing them out, but if there's no permanent housing. They go from one pasture to the next. So that is the most expensive type because you need a lot of land, and it also can be sometimes hard to keep track of which animals are where because they can wander off. So you need a lot of supervision. Probably need someone on the farm 24/7 if you have that kind of setup. You can't leave them out unsupervised too long, especially if you don't have any barrier around your property. Okay. Well, when you're involved in livestock production, you want to make sure that you're making a profit. The best way to do that is feed efficiency ratio. You want to make sure how much of your feed is being produced and turned into fat and muscle that is going to put on weight on your animal and give you a better price at the market or wherever you sell it at. So that is the most important thing in livestock production. After you get feed efficiency, you want to make sure your housing, if it's that kind of production system, the housing is maintained. The animals are kept clean. They're given the necessary veterinary products or and daily sanitation and making sure that they're in a holistic environment where they're not getting injured and they're not in a state of panic. They're kind of animals tend to do better in systems where they where they feel safe. They're more likely to eat, drink water, put on more weight, breed. So you want to make sure your housing is maintained properly. You want to make sure trained veterinarians get to see your farm where they get to get in the necessary intravenous, subcutaneous, under the skin. Intravenous is in your veins. Any kind of oral administration, anything you might need to get them deworm, anything that they might need to keep them healthy. So you want to make sure that is being done. In livestock production, you also want to make sure that the meat quality is good. So when you're slaughtering your animal, you want to make sure that you get all the blood out. So the slaughtering house has proper facilities where you can hang the animal, make sure that it's in a clean, sanitized environment. When they kill the animal, it it doesn't, nothing in the environment will infect the carcass, so they get good carcass quality, and you get that meat into the proper freezing or chilling room so it doesn't decompose. So that's what you also want to do. You want to make sure it doesn't, your meat doesn't decompose. So you want to make sure that is going on, but also you want to make sure you get a sale. That's how you make your money. You make sure you get a sale. So you have to do with marketing your products. Make sure you have a consistent supply. If you're just doing it for yourself, you don't have to do that much. But if you want to make some money on the side, you have to make sure to market your products. How to get the product sold as quickly as possible. If you're doing it with meat and you're slaughtering, you have to sell it as soon as you kill it, because the meat will just go bad. So you have to make sure that you're doing that the right way. And you could also go into value added. So marketing comes even more important in that. And the good thing about value added is that usually with value added you get to improve the shelf life. Like we're doing with milk and cheese. Cheese is, you need to coagulate the milk. The use of hot water and like vinegar or something. You can really, and it takes away a lot of the moisture with the finished product, and you can salt it to make it, give it even more cottage cheese, cottage cheese and those kind of things. They give it more value. You can also, or sell like versions that are highly salted. I've seen it in some countries where they would salt the meat heavily, and just and with little refrigeration, so that helps with the shelf life as well. Instead of just selling, the raw meat, you could just sell it like a cooked version of it, at a restaurant, something like that. Like you the farmer, as a restaurant, you keep in mind that you're making a profit. So you want to make sure that inputs are less than the outputs. So how much you're getting for the milk, how much you're getting for the meat, how much you're getting for the skin. There's a lot of value added you can make from cattle and other livestock. Chickens, you can get the the in the entrails, like the liver and the gizzard, and you could use the feathers for making pillows, costumes. In goat production, I think they use the skin for making drums sometimes. So you want to make sure that you're getting no losses, or trying to minimize your losses by value added. Okay, guys. Well, that's my little advice slash just general information on livestock production. Thanks for watching.